Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to the Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Today, our guest is Chrissy. Chrissy, how are you doing today?
Hey, Qasim, thanks for having me.
Awesome. So, Chrissy, let me know where you live and what you do.
I am out of the Houston, Texas area, and I have a personal brand architecture and PR agency.
Awesome. So my partner is also living near you, but he's in Austin, Texas. So that's great. Awesome.
Not too far.
Yeah, that's great. So, Chrissy, let me know what are your core responsibilities in your company? Because a founder may have a lot of hats, a lot of responsibilities. What are your core responsibilities?
Definitely, I am in the multiple hat area. I do have a team that supports me, but I'm still not quite in the hands-off stage. But, over the last year, we've done a great job of figuring out our systems and processes and who owns what task. And so right now I am doing a bit better at just overseeing the main strategy and things like that.
Awesome. So when you're looking into the strategy is highly bundled with the sales, marketing, and client onboarding, sort of like these things. And obviously for devising the goals of the company. But let's start from the marketing side. So how you are doing the marketing, because marketing can be a digital marketing, like online marketing, offline marketing, word of mouth. So are you using a mix and match, or you're relying on one of them?
That's a great question. And, what we do at Be a Better Brand is really comprehensive in anything we do. We try and take a well-rounded approach. So when it comes to marketing as well, we definitely take a mixture of old school and new school. So, one-on-ones, word of mouth, those sorts of things, as well as digital ads or social media, that sort of, obviously PR. We do our own PR.
That's awesome. Because obviously you must have some competitors as well in the market. So I'm not sure if you are really competing with the competitors, or you are standing out of the box, but still you must have some differentiators that sets you apart from the market. So what are those differentiators?
Sure. One of the differentiators for us is the fact that we are so comprehensive. Many other agencies will only focus on one aspect, whether it be PR or marketing, and we can focus on all aspects of a brand. So the only thing we don't do is traditional SEO, but we do digital SEO, which is PR. We've been doing that for years.
So is there any specific reason that you are not doing SEO?
Traditional SEO, as far as executing it for our clients, I know that there's a science behind it, and I had no interest in actually learning it. So
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Awesome. So, Kissy, I'm sure you must have faced many challenges in your business. And I believe every entrepreneur faces challenges. Challenges are the part of the game. Many businesses just burn out because of challenges. So keeping up with all those challenges is a big thing. So can you share one challenge with us, or maybe the biggest challenge that you think would be interesting to share with us? And also, if you can share how you were able to cope up with it, this will be great.
absolutely. Yes, you're right. Every business faces a lot of challenges. That's just part of growing. And, I've come to discover that challenges are really just opportunities for you to figure out how you can level up, and opportunities to improve either internally or externally. So challenges for sure have been a part of our journey. One of the challenges we faced was actually we grew too fast, and I wasn't prepared for the growth. I know
Not a bad challenge.
it's a great one. Yeah. So we grew so fast. And so my advice out there for people is to make sure you anticipate that growth and start planning for that growth as if it's already on its way to you. Get your systems and processes in order. Have that mindset of how you're going to handle all the clients that, can come your way. And another challenge I had at the same time was also health challenges. I had a whole lot of health challenges last year, which really impacted my ability to fulfill services. And so I had to make sure I could rely on my team to fulfill the services and keep things moving forward. it was actually a blessing in disguise to have those health challenges because, as I mentioned earlier, challenges are just an opportunity to level up. They caused me to listen to my body more. And so that even includes my neurosystem. So, I mean, my nervous system. So let's say there's a potential client who comes on board and my nervous system starts doing all sorts of weird things. That's my intuition saying, nope, not a good client. They're going to be a headache. Back away. So that's been how I've overcome that, is really just paying attention to my body and using my health challenges to my advantage.
Well, this is a big problem to say no to any client. So how do you forecast that this client cannot be a good client, and how you say no? Because I think in the entrepreneurship, this is one of the greatest thing, a good thing, but one of the difficult thing as well, to say no to a client or a
That's a
prospect.
great question. And, I know that a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in the beginning, are so afraid of saying no to clients. And I found myself in that situation. And, deep down when a client comes to you and they're not an aligned client, if you pay attention to your head, your body, there are red flags. And so, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad client for someone else, just not maybe for you. And so you have to just be okay with saying no and realizing that if you don't say no, you're operating from a scarcity mindset and you're just blocking the clients that are meant for you. You're just blocking them.
Yeah, that makes sense. In fact, there are few things in the industry that are scary for the entrepreneurs. Obviously, saying no to someone is one of them. And on the other hand, many people are afraid of the pivot. Have you ever faced this thing like where you had to pivot from something, maybe from a goal, maybe from a product, maybe from anything?
Yes, over the last several years with COVID and everything, a lot of business owners have had to pivot. And so one of the things that we've had to pivot on is figuring out which services we needed to lean more heavily on and which services we need to kind of pull back from, depending on what the market was acting like it wanted.
Makes sense. So who do you think are your ideal clients? Maybe the low-hanging fruit?
Well, our ideal clients are mostly ambitious women who are either entrepreneurs and they have their business put together, but they realized they don't have a personal brand. So maybe they're wanting to release a book or get more speaking gigs or something like that, but they're going, oh my gosh, everybody knows my company, but nobody knows me. So we help them with the personal branding side of it. And then we help them with either their book launch or PR or both.
And what's the process of onboarding your clients? How you onboard them? And is there any eligibility criteria that if you can do a backflip, then you can...
You know what? So because of all the challenges that we've had and because I didn't say no to some clients early on, one of my main rules is we have to be energetically aligned. And what I mean by that is there cannot be desperation behind the campaign. There cannot be a scarcity mindset of the person. They have to know that there is a proven process. We're going to trust the process and we're going to stay consistent and not get desperate.
Makes sense. So in all these scenarios, how you keep the morale high of your team? Because in this case, our team also involves the possibility someone can argue with you while you are leaving a client.
You know what? I've built a team where we are all very much aligned in our mindset and our thinking, and we don't want to attract clients that are going to be headaches. And we don't want to say yes to clients that are going to be headaches. So the team knows that if we turn somebody down, it's for a reason. I can give you an example. There was one particular client that would have been a great client other than this one particular sticking point that we just couldn't agree on. And it was a major one that I really feel like in my gut could have put us in potential for some legal ramifications. And so saying no to that client or potential client was, at the end of the day, we feel at peace that we avoided any possible legal issues down the road.
It makes sense. So after all these things, in fact, in this case, here comes that you need a supportive team as well. So every business works with some team and some vendors, because obviously every business cannot do everything. If a business is making the shirts, obviously they have to source something outside of their company as well. How do you find the talent, like the team for you, and the vendors? Because both are an important part of the company.
So I have a team of 3. And most of them or two of them came from connection with other people. And then one of them I used, I think the name of the agency, I think they changed their name, but it was Skybreaker Agency, I believe. And they help you find VAs and they vet them and make sure they're qualified and their skills are up to date. And I tell you, that particular hire, it was a fantastic hire. I could not do it without her.
So whenever I'm hiring someone, there is one thing that is must have. So whenever I hire someone, I try to see if they do have the capability of learning. If they have some current, they have some energy to learn something. If they don't have energy, they are slow, lazy, they do not think from their own perspective, then I usually avoid them the work, even if they know how to do the work. So is there any non-negotiable thing for you whenever you are onboarding up an employee or maybe the vendor? So what is this thing?
Yes. So they need to be critical thinkers and they need to be of good character. So I can teach skills, but I can't teach, I can't teach critical thinking and I can't change your character.
That completely makes sense. So where this critical thinking helps you in your business?
Well, as a smaller team, if I constantly have to try and micromanage or, guide them and give them all the answers, that's not very scalable. So I need them to be able to come up with their own answers to things.
Yeah, they should also contribute with their ideas. Awesome. So, Chrissy, can you let us know how you measure the success? Because one measurement, a parameter to measure your success is obviously the revenue. The easiest one. I'm not asking for the easiest one. So what are the other elements than the revenue?
So for our company, that would be, are we growing in any area? So if it's not necessarily revenue growth, but everybody is improving their skills a lot, then yes, then we're heading in the right direction. Or if we've gained more clarity in a particular area, each month, each one of us will determine something that is our KPI for the month. And that doesn't have to necessarily be monetarily related. It could be, I want to learn this skill by the end of the month. So that's how we measure success.
Well, that's great. That's one of the most important thing, I believe. And Chrissy, what would be your biggest piece of advice to our viewers, where our viewers are mostly entrepreneurs, are the ones who are dreaming to be their own boss?
So if you are already an entrepreneur or you're dreaming of becoming your own boss, I think the first thing that everyone needs to do is gain clarity on what exactly they want. It's amazing how many people don't actually know what they want. They think they do, but they couldn't succinctly tell you what they want. And so therefore, they don't have a clear picture and you're less likely to have that happen.
I have faced tons of clients who were never clear in their vision. They didn't know what they are going to do. Maybe sometimes they are thinking to give competition to eBay, but they don't know how to do this. So in these cases, obviously they do need their vision crystal clear so that they can align with their goals. Awesome. So Chrissy, and then please let us know what are your short-term goals maybe in next 6 months and what are your long-term goals maybe after 2 years?
So our short-term goals are to improve our processes to where they're super smooth and really I can be as hands-off as possible. That would be the short-term goals. There are certain aspects of service fulfillment that I do enjoy doing still, so I would like to do those. But then long-term goals would be for me to ultimately be able to step away primarily from the company and actually use my time for volunteering instead.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, Chrissy, thank you so much. Our viewers would like to reach you. And just in case, if they want to reach you, can you please share where they can reach you? You can share your website or social media, whatever you want.
Sure. Absolutely. You can Google my name, Chrissy Bernal. I'm pretty easy to find because I've done my own digital PR work and digital SEO. Or SEO. So yeah, you can Google my name, Chrissy Bernal, or go to beabetterbrand.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Chrissy, thank you so much for your time. It was really nice talking to you and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much as well. I appreciate it.
Have a good day, Chrissy. Bye-bye.
Thank you too.